Hello and welcome to a new tutorial series called Object-Oriented Design Theorem. And what this tutorial series is going to be about is we're going to be discussing things that are basically pop up everywhere in almost every object-oriented language. Things that you might want to know if you want to be a better programmer. And this tutorial series won't have any programming in it. It's going to be all the lectures and boring notes and stuff. And you don't have to follow this tutorial series. This is mostly if you just want to know some of the behind stuff. A lot similar to my introduction to assembly series. So if you're here just to follow along, then follow along, have fun. So in this tutorial, we're learning about primitives. And what are primitives, you may ask? Well, primitives, they're pretty basic. Basically, they're anything that has to do with they're basically the lowest level variables. Remember, you have things like classes. We have class math equals new class or something, and math class, I get it. And remember that in Java. Okay, so we made a type of class named math and whatever. Primitives are the lowest variables that get compiled with almost every other language. Things like integers, floats, whatever. This tutorial series I'm going to be teaching you about the different types of primitives. And to start off, hold on, wait here. Okay, back. Okay, so, first off, the first primitive that most people are familiar with is called the integer. And the integer is any negative whole number from 2 billion something, some really high number. No, not 12, it's 2. 2 billion, all the way to positive 2 billion. It's really big. Okay, next we have our unsigned int, and that is from 0 to about 4 billion. So it has about the same, it has the same memory consumption as regular int. There's just no negatives, so it just goes from 0 to 4 million, and that's good for having a count of things that will never go below 0. Next we have our char, which goes from negative 128 to 127, and you're probably thinking, okay, so we have an unsigned char that goes from 0 to 255, right? Pretty simple. Next, let me just move down this list. We have our short, which is negative 32,000, and these are approximations. I could give you the full, but it's pretty big. All the way to positive 32,000, right? And voila, we got our unsigned short, which goes from 0 all the way to 64,000, basically. I mean, that's pretty much the basic. There's more numbers, of course. If you wanted the exact numbers, you could look it up on Google. Then you have your integer. I already shown you that. Then you have your long integer. So that is negative 9. Really big number. Let me write that out real fast. Hold on, let me get this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is our thousands, millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions. That's your 9 quintillions of 2 positive 9 quintillions. And I'm not going to write that out. You basically get, or maybe I'll write it out. Here, let me just copy and paste. All the way to there. And of course, you have your unsigned long, and I don't even know why you would need this. This is your 18, huge number. I mean, if there's any reason why you would need that, tell me. I really don't see any reason for that. Then we have something interesting. We have a made up, and yes, not a lot of people know that this is a made up data primitive. This is actually an integer that only takes the value of 0 and 1. It's called a boolean. In Java you'd say it like that. In C++ is bool. And that has from 0 to 1, or most people think of it as true or false. Pretty simple. Then I already went over car, already went over signed car, short, I went through all of these. Then this is where it gets more interesting. You have your float, which goes from 3.4e plus or minus 38. I don't know. This says 7 digits, whatever that means. And let me just copy and paste this. And then you got your double, which is even bigger, looks like. I'll have to see which one is bigger. I really don't know. And then the long double, there is no such thing. It's just a double. Same thing. And then there's this interesting one called wCAR-T. No one, I've never seen that before. There's your primitives. Oftentimes string is confused as a primitive. It is never a primitive. It is always an object. And we'll be discussing string in our next tutorial. Until then, see you later.